Hey there, traveller. So you want to learn how to change the appearance of an existing follower? Before we begin, there are some prerequisites to install. All links are provided in the description of the video. First, you will need to go and download the Skyrim Special Edition Creation Kit from Steam. Hit Add to Library and wait for it to download and install. It needs to be installed in the main Skyrim directory. So if you have Skyrim installed somewhere outside of Steam's default file location, you will need to copy the Creation Kit files over to your Skyrim directory. Next, you will want to go and download the SE Creation Kit fixes from the Nexus. This addresses some issues with Creation Kit, primarily the really slow time it takes to open the damn thing. Install instructions are on the mod page. Essentially, download the file, extract the zip file, copy and paste contents into your Skyrim directory. After installing the Creation Kit fixes, I would suggest opening Creation Kit to make sure it opens OK. I get an error on mine, but it is a known error and it doesn't impact Creation Kit's functionality. Seems to be working OK, so let's exit it for now. The next applications you will need to download are NifSkope. This helps you see and change which texture file is used by the mesh. Scroll to the bottom and download the zip file. Next is NifMerge. The mod is on old Skyrim Nexus, but it's fine to use. Manually download NifMerge at the top and the update file at the bottom. Extract both files and just copy and paste the update folder contents into the NifMerge folder. Then NifOptimizer. I have created a desktop folder for the 3 Nif applications. It just makes finding them easier. Let's move on to the more fun part. I'm changing Herika's appearance in this video. I know she is a Breton, so I need to use a preset of the same race. I also want one using high poly heads. I can't use this one, it's for Nord race, but I just wanted to show you something important to check before downloading a preset you want to use as a follower. Click on Preview the contents under the download button and check it has the NIF and DDS files. These are vital. Well, the NIF file is the most important one, along with the preset itself, of course. Installing via a mod manager is the simplest way to get it. Open up Skyrim and we're going to load the preset. Change the sex to match the preset, in my case female. Now change the race to match the preset. Open the Presets tab and load the preset itself. It's almost always worth importing the preset's NIF file too. Open the Sculpt tab and import the head NIF. Hopefully they are all green like mine. Feel free to make some changes if you like. Change the hair, eyes, whatever. There are some important things to note down shortly, after you have decided on his or her final look. Change hair colour, hairstyle maybe. First important thing to note down is the body weight. Next is the skin tone. You want to click on the colour and make a note of the values. We will need to enter these into Creation Kit. Ignore the A value, just RG and B. I just want to go back to hair colours for a moment. I would suggest using one of the preset colours for now, as it makes this video shorter and a little less confusing. If anyone needs help adding a custom color, let me know in the comments and I will be happy to help. Once happy with everything, I would suggest saving it as a preset first. Now go back to the Sculpt tab and export the head NIF. Close and exit Skyrim. Next, we are going to create a folder structure. I created a Skyrim Followers folder on my desktop. Create a folder named Data. Inside that, create 2 folders, one named Meshes, one named Textures. Open Meshes and create a folder named Actors. Then Character, 2 more folders, one named FaceGen Data, another named after your replacer. Inside the replacer folder, create a folder named Hair. Go back to FaceGen Data folder, and inside that, create a folder named FaceGeom. Inside that, create a folder named after the original .esp plugin. Now we need to do the same, but for textures. So again, create a folder named Actors, then Character, then 2 more, one named FaceGen Data, one named after your replacer. Inside the replacer folder, create 2 more, one named Hair, one named Eyes. We'll be getting the files for these shortly. Back out to the FaceGen Data folder, create a folder inside that named FaceTint. Inside that, create another folder named after the original .esp plugin. Time now to locate the head NIF file we exported from Race menu earlier. Go to your Skyrim directory and open the Data folder. Then open SKSE. Plugins and then Chargen. Then find the exported NIF file. We are going to use NifSkope now to open the NIF file. See what textures are being used on the head. Open NifSkope, then drag and drop the NIF file onto the right side. The head looks odd, but that is the exported head mesh from earlier. Expand the arrow in the top left. Then the next arrow. Each line here is a different part of the head, the mouth, the face, the hair meshes, the eyes, and the eyebrows. We need to copy the texture files for the eyes, hair, and eyebrows. To find the texture file, we need to expand the arrows against each one. Starting with the hair, expand the arrow, then the arrow next to BS Lighting Shader property. Click on BS Shader texture set. In the bottom panel, it tells you the texture path used. We need to locate these files, then copy them into our Skyrim follower folders. Go to your main Skyrim directory, then go into the Data folder. Follow the file path given in NifSkope to locate the hair texture. Copy the file, along with the other file with the same name but ending _n.dds. Go to your follower folder and paste it into the empty hair folder. Make sure you are in the textures folder structure rather than the meshes one. Back in NifSkope, the hairline tends to use the same texture as the main hair itself. You can double-check the path just in case. A lot of hairs use these human straight meshes too. We'll need to grab these texture files. So again, just follow the path shown in NifSkope inside your textures folder in your Skyrim directory. Copy both files, then paste them into your follower's hair folder. Do the same for the eyes. Find the texture file being used, locate it in your Skyrim texture folder, copy and paste them into your Skyrim follower folder, eyes. You only need to do the top 2 files shown on NifSkope. Now finally onto the eyebrows. Once you have these, we will need to go and get the hair meshes. The hair meshes will be in a similar file structure as the hair texture path earlier, but inside the meshes folder instead. So in my case, the hair textures used was Mermaid, which was a KS hairdo folder, so I will look for this in meshes. Back to the Skyrim directory, then data, then meshes, and now I'm looking for KS hairdo. Look for the file that relates to your hair texture. Mermaid for me. Copy the HL version next to it too. Paste these into your hair folder. In your Skyrim follower hair folder, make sure you are on the meshes folder structure, not the texture folder one. It should be empty when you go to paste the files. I also need to get the human straight hairline mesh. Most hairs seem to have 3 meshes, but I have used hairs that have had 5 or 6 different meshes. That can get quite complicated. Copy and paste the human straight hair mesh into your Skyrim follower hair folder. Now we want to copy the data folder from the Skyrim follower folder, then paste it into the main Skyrim directory. You can go and check the folders and files are where they should be, for peace of mind if you like. I won't bother checking all mine, I have done this many times. Once you are happy all the folders and files are where they should be, it is time to open up the Creation Kit. Once Creation Kit is open, click on the Open Folder icon so we can select the .esp master files. The preset I used is HighPoly, so I need to find and add HighPolyHeads.esm. I also need to add the original followers.esp file. You will be asked if you want to continue without setting an active file, click Yes. Wait for the plugins to load. Once loading has finished, find Texture Set on the left-hand pane. Type eyes in the filter bar at the top. There are no female eyes given on the right-hand pane. We have to copy one of the male eye textures and then change the paths to point to our Replacer eye folder. Right-click on a male human eye, then click on Duplicate. Open the duplicate by double-clicking it. Rename the duplicate to something easy to identify. We now need to remap the file paths to point to our eye texture folder for our follower. Click on the first line, then click on Edit. Navigate through to your follower folder and select the eye texture. Now click on the second file path in the list, then click on Edit. Select the eyebrown_n file in your follower's eye folder. Now click on OK. Then No, then Yes. Go back to the filter at the top of the left-hand pane, changing eyes to brows. You want to copy one of the female human brows, right-click, then duplicate one of them. Double-click to open the duplicate. Rename the duplicate to something easily identifiable. Click on the top file path, then click on Edit. Select the eyebrow file from your follower folder. Click on the second file path, then click on Edit. Now click on the female brow_n file in your follower's eye folder. Click OK, then No, then Yes. Now remove the brow filter in the top left, then scroll up the left-hand pane and look for head part. Click on head part, then filter by hair in the top left. All human races use the Nord hair mesh, so find one of the hair female Nord entries on the right. Right-click, then Duplicate. Double-click the duplicate to open it. Uncheck the box next to Playable, then rename the file to something easy to identify. Click Edit on the model path. Then click Edit again and navigate to your follower's hair folder. Make sure you are in the Meshes folder structure, not the texture one. Select the main hair mesh NIF file, not either of the hairline files. Now click Edit on the tri-file path, then simply cancel. This will leave this file path blank, which is what we want. Right-click on entries shown under Extra Parts and delete them. Click OK, then No, then Yes. Now we need to add the two hairline meshes. Find a hairline female Nord entry on the list, right-click and duplicate it. Open the duplicate. Uncheck the box next to Playable, then rename the file to something easy to identify. Click Edit next to the model path. Click Edit again and now select the HL_NIF file in your follower's hair folder. Click Edit next to the tri-file path, then click Cancel, leaving this file path empty. Click OK, then No, then Yes. Right-click and duplicate the hairline file you just created. Open the duplicate, then rename it to something easily identifiable. I tend to just add 2 onto the name. This will be for the human straight hair mesh. Click Edit next to the model file path, then Edit again. Select the straight scalp human NIF file. Click OK, then No, then Yes. Now open the hair mesh you created earlier, and we need to add the hairlines onto it as extra parts. Right-click in the Extra Parts box, select New. Find the hairlines you just created, adding them both one at a time. Once they have been added, click OK. Go back to the filter in the top left, change hair to eyes. Find and duplicate one of the female eyes human files. Open the duplicate, uncheck the box next to Playable, then rename the file to something easy to identify. Click on the drop-down menu next to Texture Set. Select the eyes you set up earlier from the list. Click OK, then No, then Yes. Back in the filter bar in the top left, change eyes to brow. My preset is not using high poly brows, so I am going to find and duplicate one of the female brow human files. High poly brows all start with 0, 0 KLH. Open the duplicate and uncheck the box next to Playable, then rename the file to something easy to identify. Click the drop-down menu next to Texture Set, then select the brows you created earlier. Click on OK, then No, then Yes. Remove the filter in the top left. Click on Actors at the top of the left-hand pane. Look down the list on the right-hand pane for the follower. Double-click to open it. I like to set the follower to use the default body. Click on the drop-down next to Skin, then select Skin Naked from the list. Now we need the weight to match our preset from earlier, where we noted the body weight. In my case it was 1 or 100. If yours was 0.5, you would enter 50, for example. This is optional, but I like to remove the outfit from the follower. To do this, go to the Inventory tab, then select None from the drop-down menu. Now move along the tabs and click on Character Gen Parts. The Hair Color drop-down menu is a list of the presets available in Race menu. Select the color you would like. Now we need to set the skin tone. Enter the values you noted down earlier for RG and B. If we do not get this right, there will be a colour mismatch between the head and the body. Now under Base Head Parts, we need to select the files we created earlier from the drop-down. I am using high poly heads, so we'll select this as the face. Run through each one, selecting the files you created for each part. You can skip the facial hair for female followers. With all parts now in place, click OK. Click on the disk icon to save your plugin. Give your mod a name. We now need to export the NIF file. Click on the follower. With it selected, hold Ctrl and press F4. Click Yes on the pop-up asking if you want to export FaceGen data. Click OK on the pop-up letting you know it has been done. That's all now set up in Creation Kit, so we can close it. I'm going to show you now where the export we did just went. We will need this file shortly. Go to your Skyrim directory, then Data, Meshes, Actors, Character, FaceGen Data, FaceGeom, then look for the original follower's ESP folder. Here you should find the exported NIF from Creation Kit. Copy the NIF file. I would suggest creating a folder on your desktop named something like To Be Optimized. Paste the file into there. We now need to add into the same folder the exported head NIF we did earlier from Race menu. Go to your Skyrim directory, then Data, SKSE, Plugins, Chargen, copy the NIF file and paste it into the To Be Optimized folder. We now need to open the NifOptimizer application we downloaded at the start. Check the box next to Head Parts Only, then change the radio button in the bottom right to LE. Click Browse at the top and select your To Be Optimized folder. Now click on Optimize along the bottom. This will optimize the NIF files so we can use them in NifMerge application. Now open the NifMerge application. I'm just going to expand this a little so you can see things better. Go to your To Be Optimized folder, drag and drop the file you copied from SKSE onto the source NPC side on the left, then drag and drop the file you copied from FaceGeom, the exported head from Creation Kit, onto the right side, target NPC. I would sort the list by verticals on both sides. You need to make sure you have the same number of lines listed on both sides. Also make sure the vertical numbers match. If any of this doesn't match up, you will not be successful in merging the files together. It would suggest you have gone wrong somewhere along the way. It could be that the preset you used had high poly eyebrows, but you set up standard ones in Creation Kit, for example. Make your way down the list, selecting the correct type against each row, selecting type eye for the eye line, mouth for the mouth line, etc. Check all the boxes in the Merge column on the right. Then go through and select the type again from the drop-downs. From the source drop-down menus, select the meshes relevant to the lines. Click Merge by Vortex at the bottom. You should get some green writing on the bottom left. For some reason, the hair source changes, so you will need to switch this back. Now click on Merge to target. That's us done with NifMerge. Feel free to close it. Go back to NifOptimizer, hopefully you still have it open. Switch the radio button in the bottom right to SE, then click the Optimize button. If you closed it previously, just open it again, check the box next to Head Parts, click Browse and select your To Be Optimized folder, then click the Optimize button at the bottom. Now go to your To Be Optimized folder, which contains the merged head NIF. We will need to open NifSkope to change a couple of the file paths, following the merge we did. Drag and drop the NIF onto the right-hand side of NifSkope to open it. Expand the arrow in the top left, and the one below it. Again, you shouldn't have to do anything with the face texture paths. Just double-check it's pointing to the follower's original ESP folder. The top line for the eyes is already pointing to the Replacer folder due to the merge. We just need to edit the one below it, as that isn't. Take out all of the file path before texture. We do not want this part of the file path. Hair texture file paths will need to be specified again following the merge. Again, taking out the file path up to textures on each line. The HL hair mesh and the main hair mesh tend to use the same textures, so you should find the other is already done. The brow top line already has the file path mapped, so I just need to do the second line. That's the file paths now mapped, so save the NIF and close NifSkope. Copy the file from to be optimized and paste it into your follower folder on your desktop. It needs to go into Data, Meshes, Actors, Character, Face Gen Data, Face Geom, then into the folder named after the original follower's ESP. Now we need to go and copy the exported DDS tint file from SKSE, the file we exported from Race menu earlier. Go to your Skyrim directory, then Data, SKSE plugins, Chargen, then copy the DDS file. My file name may confuse things as it has NIF in the name. Just going to remove this to make it less confusing for you, hopefully. Copy the DDS file, and I would suggest pasting it into your to be optimized folder for now. We need to rename the DDS file to match the same name as the NIF file. Now copy the file which has been renamed, pasting it into your Skyrim follower folder. Go into Textures, Actors, Character, Face Gen Data, Face Tint, then paste it into the follower's original ESP folder. Now go back up to the Data folder, copy it, then paste it into the Skyrim directory. Overwrite files when prompted. As Herika mod is being managed by Vortex for me, I now need to enable my Replacer plugin in Vortex, then click on Deploy Mod so it can pick up the changes I have made to Herika's Face Gen data folders. Click on Plugins on the left bar, then search for your own plugin you created. Make sure you enable it. Then click on Deploy Mods. You may get a pop-up asking about overwriting files or that files have changed. Click OK if you do. Vortex can be a little flaky at times. Mine doesn't appear to be asking me. I'm just checking now that my NIF file hasn't been overwritten or anything like that, following deploying the mods in Vortex. The file has the same date modified as the one in my to be optimized folder, so it's good. Sort your plugins now, as we are going to open Skyrim and see if everything worked. Excellent, all working as expected. Give yourself a pat on the back, well done. The final thing I would look to do now we know it works, is to copy the ESP plugin you created, then paste it into your Skyrim follower folder on the desktop. The Skyrim follower folder is essentially just a backup for your visual replacer. That's us done. If you wanted to know how to edit your ESP so that it is ESL flagged, turning it into a light plugin instead, let me know and I will show you how to do this on another video. Adding the ESL flag is good to do if you are approaching the 255 ESP limit. Hope this video helped. Comment in the video below if you need extra help. I will reply as soon as I can. Otherwise, take care and goodbye. Click and scroll, I can't let